So guys, welcome to the Pole Shift News. Spent all the morning in the loft working on the TriMag system, trying to knock out a few of the bugs that we've had. If you remember, magnetometer 1, which is the furthest one to the left on there, just kept bringing back the same results regardless of what the heading really was. I put a neodymium magnet in front of it, and if anything, that should have shifted the course of the magnetometer, but yeah, it was no good. So anyhow, I've taken the track out, and what the problem was one of the breakout boards, the computer boards inside the magnetometer, had failed. On the Mag 3, another, as I suspected, another transceiver had gone down. So even this is some of the things here that we never really anticipated when we set up this observatory. And it's just maintaining the equipment. But it's not even just that. What really baffled me on Mag 3 was I replaced it with a brand new transceiver and it still didn't work. It turned out that the brand new transceiver was broke itself. So you start to check everything from that point on. Is it the breakout board? Is it the magnetometer? Is it the wires connected to all this? So pretty much all the morning was spent doing that. So we've recalibrated all three tracks. We've got all three magnetometers up and running. They're transceiving, but to do this, as you can see, I've had to take the laptop and the master into the loft space where the TriMag system is, and do all the calibrations up there. And trust me, we've had a bit of heat over the last few days in the UK, and it's not been the best of environments. First of all, it's super dusty up there, and it gets on your chest, and not only that, it's dark, and it's just not the best environment to be working. If we had a perfect world, we would have built a purpose-built building for this, and we would have chose a location somewhere magnetically or iron clean so that we wouldn't have had any interference. But we always do our best here with the budget that we get. So I'll show you now some of the raw data coming off all three magnetometers, so you can get an idea as to what it is we collect before we process it. So as you can see here, we're pulling in the data through the serial port. I've got the master at the moment, not running on its isolated power, it's running off the power off the PC. But you can see in the first column, separated by the colon, we've got the magnetometers. You can see 1, 2 and 3, and they're all called up now around, or calibrated around 1065, even though sometimes they change. That's perfectly normal. They're not fluctuating now massively, and they're giving different readings, which is an indication, as we've recently learned, that everything is working as it should do. If we looked at the magnetosphere live readings through the serial lead, we'd get the same thing. It would read 1, and then it could say, like, it could read 198 and then 199, then could go 197, and that's how it fluctuates. That's how we know we've got a good live reading, and the magnetometers are doing exactly what they're supposed to in the equipment. So you can see that even the numbers as they are, they change, and like I say, that's an indication that everything's working fine. I mean, just now, magnetometer 1's gone to 10.15, and if we look a bit further up, it was at 10.65. And if we just observe it, it'll go back up again after a short while. Here you go, 10.65. So everything's working again back on the magnetometer station as it should do. So guys, I wanted to show you something. But before I do, I wanted to just remind you that sometimes when we're doing all these things, there is an element of cost and time and effort. Always. I mean, the equipment that you have to buy to replace costs money, and more importantly, there's time. And you have to find a combination. I think if you're going to do something like what I've done here with this observatory, you have to have more than one thing. Not just a matter of time and money. Your partner, if you can understand, has to not mind using your time on these things. I mean, at the end of the day, the channel, the website, and the observatory doesn't pay a wage for me. The incentive is sometimes we get a little contribution here and there, and that for me is enough. But I recently had a look back over the course of the last probably 10 videos I did, and I noticed, that since the 2nd of May, when we done this annual anniversary fundraiser, I spotted something, and there could be 2 reasons for that, and I'll show you what I mean. So what I wanted to show you is just, if you look at the videos, on each video it shows you the views that we've had, and then one in particular stands out to me more than any of the others, and I think you'll spot it when we actually see that. Hang on a second, where is it? Oh, this one. And I think it's for the reason of the title, and as you can see, it's poleshiftnews.com as always, and then whatever the video's about, and this was the the anniversary fundraiser, and it received just 210 views. Now, there could be 2 reasons for that, but I think I know what the main reason is for it. First of all, the 2 reasons are people could see the title and know exactly what this video is about, and of course, as we know, the majority of people aren't interested in supporting something that like what we do on this channel. I mean, after all, I think some of you do appreciate the fact that what we do is cover one of the most important topics of humankind, and we really do. This is a rare event. The magnetic pole shift migrating is a rare event. Last time it happened 780,000 years ago, and I'm talking about a complete reversal. I'm not talking about a part reversal, which we already know has attempted to happen in the past and failed. I'm talking about a complete magnetic reversal, which is perfectly normal for this planet to do, other than the fact this time it's took 500,000 years more to do it. So the topic of what we mainly cover here on YouTube, on the website, and with the observatory is that, and we supply, I think, valid information on what that magnetic North Pole is doing, whether it's migrating as it has done over the last 100 years westerly towards Siberia, or it's stopped in its tracks, or it's going back to the east. Regardless of that, we're covering it, and not only that, we're covering the magnetosphere strength now, because these are things that are going to affect us, and they've already started to affect us. But I think, or I thought, people would be more interested in supporting something like this as opposed to PewDiePie. That's also on YouTube. That just seems to be mind-blowingly, with the amount of subscribers. What is it? 50 million, more than 50 million, something like that. You just think to yourself, what is more of interest to humans? Something that can actually affect their life, or a bit of light entertainment. And the answer is in the actual subscribers. People want light entertainment, and you know what, guys? People also want, in some cases, fear porn, and we try not to do that. And I noticed one of the comments the other day, thanks for coming clean, but it wasn't a matter of coming clean. The idea of this is that we report it as it is. So if there is a mistake, we announce that there's a mistake, and we correct the problem, and we carry on. But we do it honestly. That's not a matter of coming clean. There was never any attempt to, hide mistakes. The whole point and purpose of what we do on this channel is to record things as accurately as we can. If we find there is some errors, we correct the errors, and we continue to report what we find. The thing is, with what we've got in our observatories, it's pretty unique, and nobody else has got the same equipment in the entire world. And this is dedicated to this anomaly that's taking place in our lives. And I just think, it's a real shame that, the fact that we mention an anniversary fundraiser puts people off even viewing the content on that video, because what they're seeing is, maverickstar is going to be asking for some support here, and it's clear he's put it in the title, so there's no point watching this video because we're not going to support it. And that is, to say the least, guys, very sad, because the effort that I put in, the time I invest, the money I invest, and I try to do much more than just cover the pole shift to make things more interested. I mean, on the website we cover earthquakes, sea ice extent on the northern and southern hemispheres of this Earth, in the Arctic regions. We've got all the volcano data on there live. We've got other magnetometer data live. We've got sunspots and solar observations live on there, as well as a lot of other stuff, guys. So, I just think it's a poor show, when someone's putting so much effort in to inform others and, just for the sake of a title, what do? Don't even bother to view it. Guys, I guess what I really wanted to say is, we started our first annual fundraiser to celebrate, 12 months of recording the magnetic North Pole's heading. And we've recorded that successfully every 3 seconds for the last 12 months on the 15th of May. And, we're on the 9th of May now. We started on the 2nd of May and we'll continue to the 15th of May. But right now, to this point, we've just managed to raise a little over £52. And half of that money came from one donation. And is that the best we can do for something unique like this? That's, there's not another magnetometer station like this anywhere. I guarantee that it's been set up specifically for the purpose of tracking that magnetic North Pole. We've got a magnetosphere sensor measuring the magnetosphere strength, whether it increases or decreases. And again, we measure that every 15 minutes, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. This is covering one of the most serious topics of our lifetimes, guys. And is £52 the best we can raise for this? I'll leave it down to you guys, We've got probably, 6 days left at this annual fundraiser. A lot of effort and time's been put in. And, for some people, they can't even, it's too much of an effort for them to get the credit card out and, support it. Yet this information could be critical to them, their family, and, the effort is required, isn't it? So, anyhow, guys, I just thought I'd tell you that the station's back up and running, all tuned, all, fixed. It never stopped recording in any case, we had data always recording off TriMag 2, but, we've got it all back and running. Number 1 is online, 2's online, 3's online. And, if you want to help support this, the link's down there, guys. And I'll say what I usually do. Bye for now.